The region, Antigua and Barbuda set sights on becoming major Caribbean transshipment hub, and internationally, Supreme Court rules that immigration raids in LA can continue. Good evening, I am Leila Langford. Details of the news when we return.
It's in the feeling and how we talk. It's in the meaning and our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are. 'Cause the rhythm of life is pumping. Together going strong. No matter what, we keep things flowing. Before we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky. Celebrate and come let your rhythm flow.
DBS News.
Welcome back and welcome to the listeners of Acoustic Worship Radio. Communications and Public Relations Specialist at Discover Dominic Authority, Monel Alexis, says the recently concluded WCMF promotional mission in St. Martin has met its objectives. The mission featured a press conference and several press interviews across the radio and digital platforms in St. Martin.
Our recent mission in St. Martin gave us the opportunity to share Dominica's attractions, highlight the festival's dynamic lineup, and connect directly with both media and the public. The response was tremendous. Several press interviews, a live broadcast press conference, and a vibrant Dominica night featuring our festival artist Roy all helped spread the message. St. Martin's warm reception truly reinforces the strong regional bond we share and the growing anticipation for one of the Caribbean's most exciting festivals, the World Creole Music Festival.
Communications and Public Relations Specialist at Discover Dominica Authority, Monel Alexis. Dominica's new millionaire is 57-year-old Anne Luke of Maho, popularly known as Kubuli Lady. She was presented with her Super 6 jackpot earnings of $1.19 million by the Dominica National Lottery this morning.
We all know that the Super 6 have what we call the straight games as well as the combo plays. And we try to instill in Dominican customers to try to play the combo as much as possible. Today is a clear example and a manifestation of how beneficial it is to play the combo. Today, I am proud to announce that Mrs. Anne Luke of Maho is our Super 6 millionaire winner. Mrs. Anne Luke, 57 years of age, married with one special son, which I call him the lucky prodigal son. She played her ticket, and not only on the night of the draw, which is August 2nd, she played her ticket on July 30th. That was before the actual draw day. She played at Minias Company in Kingsfield. Congratulations to Minias. And she played the combo method of $84. And from that combo method, she won herself the jackpot, as well as she won herself 12 match 5 numbers. The 12 match 5 pays you $500. So with the jackpot, she's not only receiving $1.91 million, she's receiving $1.197 million.
Ken George of the Dominica National Lottery. Mrs. Luke revealed the moment after a Facebook post revealed that the Super 6 jackpot was won in Dominica.
I had a friend visiting with me from the Virgin Islands, and I went to the Caribbean Reserve and show her the Caribbean Reserve. So the night we get home, and I sit down on my couch. I say, you know what? Let me see what number play. And then as I opened Facebook, first thing I saw was Riceman. Big up to Riceman. Riceman sent a post and say, we have a millionaire in Dominica, and the person bought the ticket at Minias 7-Eleven. Something come out in my foot and go up in my head view. So I like, Minias 7-Eleven? So I go to bed. When I looking for the ticket, I couldn't find the ticket. So I went to, the ticket was in my truck. So next day I get up, I went to church in the little village. I live in Cochrane, and the little village in Cochrane have a chapel. I went to church that morning, and I After service, I sit down in the truck. Now the number right man put on the post money to Julie Malaji. And I take the number, I write it on that. So when I reach to my truck after service, I sit down in my truck and I go into the $300 worth of ticket. You know, it's a lot of ticket. So I go into the ticket, One of them I had like 5 numbers and I like, Jesus. But when I close my eyes and I say, waiting to see the other rest. When I watch the Super 8 combo, I go into my little number, yon by yon and one by one. So I see 2, I see okay. I see 5, whatever. I see 12, I see 14. I say, Jesus, no, wait a while. And then I see 15, every more 17. I put my on my head, I hate it. I scream so hard. I myself heard myself scream so hard in my truck. And I stay in the truck, I cry so much.
Winner of the Super 6 jackpot of $1.19 million, Anne Luke of Maho. She resides at Cochrane and the Virgin Islands. Meantime, the 9th Blast Progressive winner is Derek Augustine of Cottage, the owner of the restaurant Keeping It Real. He picked up his earnings of $355,000 this morning. In other news, a sports official has expressed concerns over the potential impact of the establishment of a medicinal cannabis industry in Dominica. President of the Dominica Olympic Committee, Billy Doctrove, says this industry could negatively affect young athletes and consequently Dominica's sporting sector.
Let me say I have no reason to doubt that marijuana has medicinal properties and qualities, because I have dealt with people who swear by its use, and my own detailed research has confirmed that. I come waving my red flag, but the red flag I am waving in this case is not for political purposes, but to express my concern and to encourage caution with this industry. We in the sporting field deal with lots of young persons, and that is why I am calling for caution. Some persons would like to convince the rest of us that marijuana has no ill effects on the human body, but this is just a myth. There are lots of gray areas as far as marijuana is concerned, and that is why we have to be so careful, especially with the use among our youth. An increase in production, it becomes more likely that some will leak from the medical machinery and find its way on the streets, where our young people become vulnerable. It is the effect on our young people that I am particularly concerned, that I wave my red flag of caution.
President of the Dominica Olympic Committee, Billy Doctrove. Principal of the St. Martin Primary School, Brunette Morrow, has endorsed education reform which begins at the primary school level during the academic year. The new academic year got underway in Dominica today with all 58 primary schools and 14 secondary schools in operation.
St. Martin School is on board with the education reform that has been spoken to us about, because we feel that it is something that students need to be involved in, especially when it comes to the extracurricular activities, the civics, community involvement. These are things that we have been doing at St. Martin Primary. And so we look forward to some guidelines as well in terms of how to execute the reform program at the school. We have taken on board everything that has been spoken to us about in our principals meeting, and we also like the OECS Pearl program, which we are pilot school to, which involves a lot of the devices that the students have to use, and it makes the work easier for the children. So with the education reform and the OECS Pearl, I see our students really into the new millennium and really going to learn as they should, because they are accustomed with the devices that they're accustomed of using and the internet and all of that. So I am really looking forward to our students this year and our teachers embracing the OECS Pearl program together with the education reform.
Principal of the St. Martin Primary School, Brunette Morrow. Meantime, Mrs. Morrow says insufficient parental involvement is among the challenges facing Dominican students.
I think our students face the challenge of parental involvement in their schoolwork. Over the past years, I have seen a decline in parental involvement because parents expect the school to do everything. When it comes to homework, when it comes to device time, how much time do our students have online? Some of them, sometimes they don't look at what the children are doing online, and so it is not always about school. We have a problem as well with our children wanting to read. Our children don't like to read, and so our parents have to help them to read as well. So I think these are our major challenges. When it comes to materials for school, parents do make the effort to get the materials for the children for school. But I think the involvement should not stop at just buying stuff for the children. I think it should be one where the parent helps the child at home, helps the child with homework, helps the child to sit and study, helps the child to read. Parents should read as well.
Principal of the St. Martin Primary School, Brunette Morrow. Buyo artist Kenny G wants bus drivers to be selective in the music that school children are allowed to consume. Kenny G told Gavin Richards on a special DBS program this afternoon that he is thrilled by the rise of the Buyo genre.
Buyo is unstoppable right now. You don't have no carnival right now in the Caribbean and certain part of the world. You will just see a Buyo artist performing. So that is to show you how Buyo reach level Buyo reach now. So fighting it now will just be a waste of people's time now to fight it. It's just to support it. Even if you have certain songs you don't like, you don't have to play it, but you don't have to fight down the artists and them.
Over the past few years, as you know, one of the Nasty Business main acts, has it come a point in time where you decided, well, or you probably want to look at tuning down a little bit based on the market? I mean, how do you guys go about it?
How I see the market and how I see it, I try not to keep it a little nasty, but I feel like the fans and them, you have to give them something like that. I don't saying like all songs have to be fully nasty, but the fans and them, they like things that jiggy, things that catchy, things that making them move, things that... But I always saying the songs and them now, you don't have to play it in a party of a 15-year-old or 14-year-old or on a bus. The school children. Look, school just open, so asking the bus drivers and them, watch the music they playing for the school children and them, you check.
Buyo artist Kenny G. Head of the Adult Education Division, Carol Charles White, says programs being offered by the division have significantly contributed to the local job market. White says young people who have been enrolled in the adult education programs over the years have either established small businesses or became gainfully employed. This month, Dominica is observing Adult Education Month.
We have definitely moved. We have evolved. As our theme says, we have evolved. We have started the process where we followed the NVQ syllabus. This is the National Vocational Qualification Training Syllabus, which is recognized worldwide. We have started using this syllabus, which is a stepping stone towards National Vocational Qualification certification for our young people. And our young people have been taking opportunities of our programs where many of them have started their own businesses, they have found jobs, and at our exhibition we highlighted a few of them. We had persons in hair braiding, we had nail acrylic, we had persons in cake making and pastry making. They have their own businesses doing catering. So this is one step where we're getting our young people into our programs where they will come out with a purpose. Either they have their small businesses or they continue with learning.
Head of the Adult Education Division, Carol Charles White. That's the National Focus, Regional and International Developments up next.
It's in the feeling and how we talk. It's in the meaning and our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are.
DBS News.
In news from the region, Antigua and Barbuda is laying the groundwork to become a leading transshipment hub in the Caribbean with bold ambitions to transform its logistics landscape and elevate its regional and global standing in maritime trade. According to Darwin Telemack, General Manager of the Antigua Port Authority, strategic plans are actively underway to position the country as a central node in regional distribution and international trade routes. Telemack revealed that discussions are ongoing with major industry partners to realize the vision, which would dramatically enhance supply chain connectivity across the Americas, Africa, and Asia. And internationally, the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled sweeping immigration raids in Los Angeles can continue for now, lifting a federal judge rule that had barred agents from making stops without reasonable suspicion. Today's ruling is a win for U.S. President Donald Trump, who has vowed to conduct record-level deportations of migrants in the country illegally. The 6-3 decision of the majority court allows agents to stop suspects based solely on their race, language, or job, while a legal challenge to the recent immigration sweeps in LA works its way through the courts. That's news, the DBS Evening Sports Report. Up next with Gavin Richards.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Flow's prepaid customers can now unlock big bonus rewards like bonus data, prizes, and more every time you activate a 3-day prepaid plan or larger. Activate a plan, then scratch to reveal your bonus data. Plus, get points for extra prizes. The more you activate, the more bonus data and prizes you can win. Get in on the big bonus rewards when you activate a prepaid plan. Dial *129# or visit topupflow.com to activate a plan today.
Well, good evening. I'm Gavin Richards with the DBS Evening Sports Report. Let's begin with news that President of the Dominican Olympic Committee, Billy Doctorow, has reminded the rest of the DOC executive that they are here to serve in the best interests of sports and not themselves. Well, his comments came at the official administration of oaths of the executive this morning. Doctorow, who is taking up his third term as president, told his members that they are here for the athletes.
Now we have a new executive recently elected to serve for the next 4 years. And I expect and our affiliates demand nothing less than total and selfless commitment. I take this opportunity to congratulate those persons who were elected to the executive. I would like to remind them we are not here to serve ourselves. Neither are we here to promote the association that some of us are members of, or to boost our own ego. If we have any of these intentions, the door is right there. You can take your immediate leave.
And that's President of the Dominican Olympic Committee, Billy Doctorow. The full executive is Billy Doctorow, President, Donnie Robinson, the Vice President, Dexter Ducre, the Treasurer, Qualita Hamilton, the Assistant Secretary Treasurer, Fenella Wenham Shepherd is the General Secretary, and the committee members are Chester Later, Peter Later, and Job Joseph. Meantime, Doctorow says preparations are already underway for Dominica's participation at the 2028 Summer Olympics. He says 6 athletes have been confirmed Olympic scholarships to further prepare for the Games.
Preparing for an Olympic Games is not an easy venture. Neither it is a cheap venture. So we are happy that we could have got the scholarships for the 6 athletes, and we have had intensive discussions with them. They know our expectations of them, but we know that they will be in a better place, in particular financially, to ensure that they can improve and increase the preparation for LA 28. Track and field stars, Tiela Forgatson, Denick Luke, Trenis Hamilton, Addison James, Carol Etienne, and cyclist Koa Barron are the athletes. And we also have our swimmer, Jasmine Schofield, on a full swimming scholarship. And I want to thank the Dominica Amateur Swimming Association for the role that they played in obtaining the scholarship for Jasmine.
The president of the Dominica Olympic Committee, Billy Doctrove. Meantime, Minister of State with Responsibility for Sports, Senator Oscar George, has issued a challenge to the new executive to address the challenges facing athletes.
We tend to make sports into more about administrations and administrators. And I don't think that is the right way to go about it. And I think we should focus more on the athletes, what they need to excel in this competitive environment. So yes, our administrators are important. They play an important role, especially in creating the enabling environment. But most of all our effort should be placed on our athletes. It should be athlete-driven, representing the interests of our athletes, putting ourselves in their shoes, and most importantly, solving the little problems they may face, which can positively impact their ability to perform.
Minister of State with Responsibility for Sports, Senator Oscar George. George says the mental aspect of athletes also needs to be looked at.
We have to put some focus on the mindset of our athletes, on the mindset of the athletes. This is very concerning to me, I must say. And I have said many times that in order to excel in sports, you have to be mentally prepared, mentally tough, and maturity is also important. And I believe that under this new leadership, we have an opportunity to try to target that issue, the mindset of our athletes. And one of the things I believe the committee can do, Mr. President, is to start a conversation as part of an athletes forum, where we can bring all our young athletes together and just focus on the mental aspect of sports, among other stuff. And I think that is an area we can implement to help us going forward.
And that's Minister of State with Responsibility for Sports, Senator Oscar George. Let's move to some football news now, as Allian George has been named captain of the national women's football team as Dominica gets set to participate in the Windward Islands Women's Football Tournament. Well, the squad was revealed this afternoon at the Dominica Football Association headquarters. And of course, Allian George will be the captain. She will also be joined by Brianel Laura, Diamond Daniel, Zariah Pascal, Rosalinda Paul, Anik Francis, Maris Joseph, Priscilla Samuel, Miriam Elwin, Jessica Pelwi, Kenisha John Lewis, Jarisha Paul, Brittany Dennis, Tamika Pelwi, Sahara St. Rose, Kimra Joseph, Kiana Phillip, Leanne Laura, China Tulloch, and Ashanti Hazel. Also Joel Harv and Brittany Stout. That completes the women's national football team. Of course, Dominica will be taking on St. Vincent, St. Lucia and Barbados in the tournament, which will be held in St. Lucia starting next week. The national women's team is being coached by Ronnie Gustav. Sheldon Kazimi is the assistant coach. Regina Walsh will serve as team manager. Julie Polidor, the trainer. Melvin Angol, the goalkeeper coach. Steve Samuel, the equipment manager. And Rosanette Pelte-Lugi, the team medic. Meantime, head coach of the team, Ronnie Gustav, says the tournament will help the women's team with preparations for the World Cup.
And they see it necessary to bring back the Windward Island on stream, that we could have at least a few games before going into the qualifiers of the CONCACAF. So the Windward Island tournament is stepping stone that we can see our local players, because we do know that we have foreign players as well out there. We did not bring them in because we want to see what our locals are looking like. And they have worked tremendously for the past couple of weeks, and they deserve the opportunity to go out there and make us proud as a country.
and that's women's national coach Ronnie Gustav. In some more sports this evening, national cyclist Coaf Baron has copped the Cyclist of the Year award. Baron received the award at the Dominica Cycling Association's prize-giving ceremony on the weekend, where Coaf Baron dominated the cycling season, winning all the races that he took part in, including the national race earlier this year. Gidson Marius was named the most improved cyclist, where president of the Dominica Cycling Association, Ronald Charles, says the 2025 season was a success.
Mr. Louis Williams from the Kalinago territory, most promising cadet. Miss Rachel Semper, Female Cyclist of the Year. Ross Semper, Junior Cyclist of the Year. Gidson Marius, Most Improved Cyclist of the Year. The Season National Champion and Cyclist of the Year, Coaf Baron. Appreciation awards went to our sponsors, those that have been with us for a long time. Sagico, Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited, Dominica Police Force, HSV Richardson Company Limited, Auto Trade, Marboyd Kubuliba, and KFC Dominica for their partnership and continuous support towards cycling over the past years. Awards and appreciation also went to Henderson Gustav for his dedication to cycling over the past 6 years. Adele Charles for dedication in race preparation and commitment to the sports and the organization. The Dominica Cycling Association want to extend a special thanks to our main and headline sponsor, the Dominica Olympic Committee, and extend gratitude to the president and his team for making this cycling season a great success, and more importantly, providing the financial support in the sport of cycling for over its existence.
And that's president of the Dominica Cycling Association, Ronald Charles. Let's move to some basketball news, as spots in the finals of the DABA Division 1 League will be up for grabs later this week, as both the West Coast Ballers and the Convenience Plus Maho Gators have forced third and decisive Game 3s in their respective semi-final series. While the West Coast Ballers used a strong second half to take Game 2 of their semi-final series against the defending champions Detroit Blazers, the West Coast Ballers won that game 62-50. In the other semi-final match, Convenience Plus Maho Gators, they defeated the Dr. Darrow Prichlet Sports Club Falcons to force Game 3 in their series. Maho took that match 74-71. In the Premier Division on the weekend, we saw the Pebble Super Eagles returning to winning ways with a 4-point win over the Dr. Darrow Prichlet Sports Club Falcons. Eagles won that game 77-73. We had Lennon Paul getting 20 points and Shama Felicity 19 for the Eagles. In the other Premier League match, the defending champions Detroit Blazers, they blew past the Trafalgar Hilltop Services Prowlers. Blazers won 79-56. In some cricket news, Jason Lamoff registered the first century in the Central Cooperative Credit Union Dominica Cricket Association Intermediate Cricket League as he guided the Police to a win as that tournament got underway on the weekend. While the Police took on the Penville Gladiators at the Benjamins Park yesterday, Police made 198 batting first. Jason Lamoff made 104, and we had the Gladiators replying with 130. The sports minister, Senator Oscar George, he got 43 not out for the Gladiators team, but his efforts not enough to guide them to victory. In some other action from that competition, Rubens Bakery Christians, they opened up their campaign with a comfortable win over Dubla, and the Lapwet Tigers, they went down by 7 wickets to the Starlights team. Of course, we had Sylvester Mark getting a 5-wicket haul and Edmund Moranci getting a big half-century for the Starlights as they cruise to victory. In some more cricket news, the Barbados Royals, they registered their first win in the Republic Bank CPL, beating the St. Lucia Kings as that tournament continued yesterday. Well, the Barbados Royals captain, Rovman Powell, says it was a good victory.
I think it's just a matter of belief. You know, the intensity from the start of the batting was very good. You know, we feel better today and we execute our plans a little bit better today.
You guys have been quite slow starters this season, and yourself and Chris Green, Rutherford, have been very good at the end. Is that how you want to go about structuring the innings?
Not necessarily. You know, it's just that we have lost the toss so much time. And, you know, the first 5 or 6 overs have been tough for our batters to get away the new ball. You know, but having said that, it's our job in the middle, in the lower half to pick up the sacks.
And that's the Barbados Royals captain, Rovman Powell. In the other match yesterday, the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots kept their slim hopes of securing a spot in the playoffs alive as they got past the Guyana Amazon Warriors, where the Patriots captain, Jason Holder, says the team just has to continue to win.
Had a few close calls for this season, so it was really important for us to hold our composure and get over the line. Credit to each and every bowler. I think we did an outstanding job to defend that small total. I think it was a challenging total on the surface, to be fair, but credit to everyone who played a part.
And that penultimate over that you bowled, again, under a lot of pressure, your thought process and also the decisions about who you bowled at different times.
Yeah, it was just key to understanding matchups, and just try to mix it up as much as possible. I felt the spinners were key today. Each and every spinner that bowled today did an excellent job. I thought our spin day was outstanding in power play, and then outside of the power play as well too. Young Badesi came up and stepped once again, which is very, very commendable for him. And obviously Waqar Solanki was great.
And that's the St. Kitts and Nevis captain, Jason Holder. And that takes us to the end of the DBS Evening Sports Report. Of course, you heard the news with Leila Langford. I brought you the sports on behalf of the entire news and sports department. Our links person, DJ Halo Boy. I'm Gavin Richards saying good evening.
Flow's prepaid customers can now unlock big bonus rewards like bonus data, prizes, and more every time you activate a 3-day prepaid plan or larger. Activate a plan, then scratch to reveal your bonus data. Plus, get points for extra prizes. The more you activate, the more bonus data and prizes you can win. Get in on the big bonus rewards when you activate a prepaid plan. Dial *129# or visit topupflow.com to activate a plan today.
DBS Radio gives you top quality service over any other for live streaming of funerals. Call us today at 448-3282.
Good evening and welcome to this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. It is the 8th day of September 2025. We'll begin with this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Death Announcements on the Community Bulletin Board. We announce the death of Roslyn Mulcair, better known as Yvonne, age 78, of Canefield. She died on Friday, the 22nd of August, at her residence in Canefield. She was the mother of Esmond, Beverly, Marvlin, Gemma, Teresa, Kendra, and Katharina. She'll also be remembered by her 2 adopted sons, Kent and Carlos, her brother Ruben, 17 grandchildren, 10 great-grandchildren, 7 nieces, 14 nephews, 4 sons-in-law, and 1 daughter-in-law. Many grandnieces and grandnephews, both here and abroad, names too numerous to mention. Other relatives and friends, including the Mulcair families in Dominica and abroad, the Graham, Jermaine, Bertrand, Lancelot, Grell, John and Ali families of Canefield, 10th Street, and the Luge family in Portersville, the Church of Christ family in Massac, Marcella, Pastor Leroy Hill, Nurse Junella Williams, Dr. Ola, the staff of the Fonkole Health Center, Fletcher, Natalia, Julene, Elima, Cassandra, Brenda, Agatha, Ashley, and many other names too numerous to mention. The body of the late Roslyn Mulcair, better known as Yvonne of Canefield, can be viewed from 2 p.m. on Tuesday, the 9th of September, at the Massac Church of Christ in Check Hall. The funeral service takes place at 3 p.m. and will be followed by interment at the Roseau Public Cemetery. The funeral arrangements entrusted to the Northeastern Funeral Association.